is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to tonight's live stream. I'm super excited to hang out with you guys for a little bit and talk Scream 7. As you guys know, we got the trailer. So exciting. I did already put out 2 videos about the trailer already. I'm sure a lot of you here have seen it already. Which I greatly appreciate you guys watching and supporting the channel. It's been a little while since we've done a stream, so we are in full Scream 7 mode at this point, so you can definitely expect more streams than normal. I'm gonna try my best to get back into it. Things were just crazy with like the Halloween season, but now things are slowing down a bit, but not for Scream 7. Oh my goodness, we have 53 people here right now, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any theories or anything you want to talk about, things that you spotted in the trailer, start dropping them in the chat. We will get to it in just a minute. Also, if all 58 people here right now could give the stream a like, that would greatly help out my channel. I would appreciate it. So please, hopefully right now we can get 59 likes because we have 59 people here, which is insane. Also, before we get into it, I am going to start a super chat goal in the chat. If we can do 15 $5 super chats or more within the hour, we will do a bonus stream later this week. So if that is something you guys are interested in, the super chat goal is live, but either way, I appreciate you guys being here, and let's get into it. Let's see here. Let me go back in the chat. My goodness, we have 75 people here. That's crazy. Ooh, we already have a super chat from JDevTV. Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate it. For the $5. And you said hit the like button. Yes, please. I would appreciate all 74 of you guys giving the stream a like. That's crazy. Thank you so much, you guys. And thank you, JDev, for your super chat. That is the first one towards our super chat goal. So thank you for contributing. Okay, we have Jacob Wells here. Welcome back to the channel. I just thought of something. What if the movie jokes about Stu Macher being alive isn't a mystery, giving to the last 2 films having Stu clues everywhere, especially with this new movie's opening? Do you mean what if it's not a mystery the whole time? Like they let us know from the jump, from the very beginning of the movie that he's alive? That's kind of interesting. I would rather it be a mystery throughout the whole movie rather than them telling us right from the very beginning. But with that being said, my number one wish is just for him to be alive. So if that's the way they're going to do it, I'm not going to complain as long as Stu's alive. Hey, Kane. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you being a moderator. If any of my other moderators here are here right now, I appreciate you guys moderating the chat for me. King Matthew is here. How are you doing tonight? I am well, thank you. Hope you are too. My prediction for Scream 7 is that Ghostface toys with Gale by using Dewey's voice, which is why Dewey says, "Your friends die just for being near you" in the trailer. Yeah, that is definitely a good possibility. I do think it's a popular theory out there. The whole like AI theory where people think Ghostface is going to be like toying with Sydney and Gale. And I mean, like you said, we do hear Dewey's voice in the trailer, and we know, as far as we know, Dewey is dead. There is a theory out there. Some people think Dewey's alive. I don't know if I believe that. I do think Dewey's dead, unfortunately. Rest in peace. But yeah, I definitely think that's a possibility. Who knows? It could be, like, an actual recording of Dewey, like, sort of like a videotape, like, with Randy in Scream 3, but I can't imagine Dewey would actually be saying that, you know? It seems a little harsh. So, I think your prediction is more accurate. Thank you, King Matthew, for being here, and we have 92 people here right now. That's that's crazy. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. We have our second super chat from Zork. Thank you, Zork. You said, I'm going to burn it all down. I think this Ghostface is going to be sick and tired of the legacy always being tied to Billy and Stu. That's interesting. So I think you're not a Stu believer, right? You were saying that yesterday. You don't think Stu's alive. So you're saying you think it's like a new Ghostface who is just sick of everything going back to the original. Um, I get it. Not a bad theory, but you know my thoughts about this and why I think Stu would want to be the one to burn it all down. If anyone here has not seen my video from yesterday, I did put out a whole Stu theory. Um, and I do get into this in the video, why I think Stu would want to burn down his own home that he grew up in. We'll probably get into that more in this stream as well. Thank you, Zork, for your super chat. I appreciate you and for moderating. Okay, let's see here. We have so many comments coming in because we have so many people here. We appreciate you guys. Hey, Harvey. Scream 7 will continue to repeat the same pattern of Screams 1 to 3. Yeah, I think it's a good possibility that 7 is going to have a lot of similarities to Scream 3, the same way Scream 5 was similar to 1, 6 was similar to 2. Hey, Shane. Hey, Alex. Matthew says, I really think Gail's dying in Scream 7 due to the fact that we rarely see her in the trailer. And I also think Mindy dies because that scene where Gail is in the trailer, only Chad gets out of the car with her. Ooh, interesting. So, yeah, I feel like between Gail and both twins, at least one of those three people has to die. Who's it gonna be? I don't know. So I don't think that Gail not being in the trailer much necessarily means that she's gonna die. I mean, it's just the first trailer. We're definitely gonna get a second trailer. Maybe she'll be more heavily featured in the second trailer. I don't know. With that being said, Gail is the only character that has been in all 7 movies at this point. She almost died in 6. Maybe her time is coming in 7. I also, you know, I do feel like one of the twins has to go. But I don't necessarily think that just because Chad's the only one that we see in the car means that Mindy died. You know, there's a theory that um, Chad is working with Gail as her cameraman. I don't know if it's true. It's just a theory slash rumor. But maybe that's why, you know, maybe Chad is working with her, so was traveling with her in her car, and Mindy was just elsewhere at the time. I don't know, but anything is possible. Harvey says, with it being revealed that Stu was the mastermind behind Scream 5, like Roman with Scream, since 5 and 6 are parallel to 1 and 2. Okay, right. So, yeah, I agree with this. I believe I've said this on the channel years ago at this point. I've been talking about Stu for almost 3 years. Yeah, so with 5 and 6, with the killer reveals and the motives being similar to 1 and 2, in 3, we find out that Roman was pulling the strings essentially from the jump. So I think in 7, we're gonna find out that someone was pulling the strings back in 5, and it's gonna be Stu. Hey, Ray. Wanna say hi and that I have yet to see the trailer. I'm trying my best to avoid spoilers. I'm so excited for the trailer being here and can't wait to watch it after the movie in February. Wow, that takes some serious self-control. I totally get where you're coming from, and it's like a small part of me also wants to avoid the trailers, but I have to do it for my YouTube channel. I have to watch all of it. But I wonder if I didn't do YouTube, if I would be like you and avoid it, but I probably still wouldn't be able to resist, so that's impressive. But I appreciate you, being here. Thank you for liking the stream. Hey, Denisha. How you doing? Alex says Scream 7 will be released in 116 days from now. That's crazy. Time's gonna fly. I mean, especially now that we're in the holiday season, like, Halloween is unfortunately over, but now we're about to enter the Christmas season. Once Christmas is over and it's New Year's, then it's pretty much go time. Like, I can't wait. We have another super chat. This one is from Justin. Thank you so much, Justin. You said, my theory, the killers are Mark, Stu, and Leslie. Looks like the killers have inside knowledge of the layout of Sydney's house in the trailer. Interesting. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it would be super dark for her own husband to be the killer, one of the killers. Um, and if it is him, then he's been playing a long game because they've been married for a while, I would assume. You know, at least one of her daughters is what, like 16, 17? So he's been pretending to be in love with Sydney for all these years, and he's gonna be the killer? I don't know. Um, I definitely think it would be a crazy twist. Like, I wouldn't necessarily see it coming, but I would also feel devastated for Sydney. I know a lot of people, I've heard a lot of fans say they wouldn't want her husband to be the killer, but yeah, I don't know. Um, there's always a chance that, like, I don't know, what if Ghostface, you can, like, obtain the floor plans of houses online. So maybe the killer did that? I don't know. Um, anything's possible. Listen, I don't know. But I also hope that Leslie is a killer. I would love for Leslie and Stu to team up as siblings. That would be great. And I'm hoping that Leslie is played by Anna Camp, which, by the way, we did not see Anna Camp in the trailer at all. And I love that they're holding back and not showing a lot. I do imagine in the second trailer, they're probably gonna show the rest of the new characters. Like, we literally only got a glimpse at McKenna Grace and Celeste O'Connor, and, they didn't even speak in the trailer, so they're really holding back. But, we didn't see, who are the other ones? Asa Gurman, what's that other guy's name? Sam Reckner. We didn't see any of the new characters, including Anna Camp, so I already can't wait for the second trailer. Thank you so much, Justin, for the $5 super chat. We are working our way towards the goal. Let's see here. Bringing Stu back as a living character in any way is going to require some massive workarounds to fill in the potential plot holes. I get where you're coming from. I think as long as they took their time with it and really thought it out, there's there's a chance that there won't be any plot holes, especially if Kevin Williamson himself, who had this plan for decades, like, I feel like if there were any plot holes, he caught them, he fixed them. At least I'm being hopeful. Um, I feel like it's possible. Um, hey RJ, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I've already watched the trailer like a million times. Oh, on the 20th of this month, we'll be out of the 100s, and then we'll officially be 99 days away. Let's see here. Yes, I heard that Kevin Williamson is officially one of the writers. There were like rumors, is he gonna have anything to do with the script or is he strictly directing? I saw something that confirms that he actually wrote on it, so that I'm hopeful. In the Scream 7 trailer, did you notice the November calendar? Yes, I did actually. You also said I was under the impression that Scream 7 takes place in September on or around the anniversaries of the events of the first Scream movie. So that is interesting. I'm glad you brought it up. So, if you remember from the set images that we got months ago, that I did a video for on the channel, and actually Craven Something Scary was the first one to break all of those images on YouTube. So there were two separate set of dates. There was like a poster for a fall festival, I believe, that took place um, during 3 days at the end of September, which is what you're referring to, which would be the anniversary of the events of the first movie. But then I also remember in those set images, there was a poster for the school play that they're putting on called The Fairy Princess, and the dates of the play were 3 days in November. So, I don't know. I don't know what that means. Maybe it does take place in September, but the calendar that we see for November is maybe just Sydney planning ahead for her family, like, maybe her family's very busy and she's just planning ahead for the months to come. I really don't know, but I'm glad you brought that up because I did notice the November calendar. Yeah, I also think the couple that we see at the Stab franchise Airbnb in Stu's home, I have a feeling that that is the opening scene as well. Of course, it might not be, but yeah, I got that vibe as well. Um, Interesting. This may be a hot take, but what if the dude in the Airbnb is one of the killers? We never see him die like we do the girl. That's true. We don't see him die in the trailer, but maybe they just didn't want to spoil both deaths. Um, but maybe he is one of the killers. Like you guys know, I think Stu has a cult. He's leading a cult of ghost faces. Um, I would like to think that we're gonna see multiple killers in his cult, like maybe four killers. And maybe they're not gonna be these big characters where we really get to know them because there's just not enough time in the movie to get to really know every killer if there's gonna be multiple. But I would like to think that he's gonna have multiple cult members revealed at the by the end of the movie, and I actually think that would be a pretty good twist if the guy from the Airbnb was in the cult, led the girl there with him, she dies, maybe we're gonna think he dies, kind of like we've had fake outs in the past, like with Quinn, with Roman in 3, like, he kind of faked his death temporarily. Even Billy in the first one, like, we thought that all of those characters died, and then they ended up being one of the killers, so that's not a bad theory. We have another super chat from Silver Princess. Thank you so much, Silver Princess. I'm glad you can make the stream. Um, you said, I hope the ghost faces in the movie taunt Sydney's connection to Roman, and for Sydney to say, at least he had the balls to do it alone. That would be a good line. Yeah, I do feel like the sequels fail to mention Roman. I think there was a deleted line from Scream 4. I could be wrong. But I think Jill was supposed to have a line about Roman. But yeah, I feel like the sequels don't really bring him up much. Kirby briefly mentioned him in 6. We know that Scott Foley is returning in 7, so yeah, that would be good. If I mean, maybe they're gonna taunt her with the AI version of Roman, like a lot of people think. Maybe it's gonna be a flashback. Maybe it's a dream sequence, like Sydney's gonna have a nightmare about Roman. Um, yeah, that would be cool. Thank you so much, Silver Princess, for your super chat. Let's see here, I have to scroll back a little bit. Um, sorry, let me see. Yes, so McKenna Grace's character in the trailer is wearing a blue plaid skirt, and you guys know the theory about blue plaid. There's been so many killers in the past who have worn blue plaid shirts. Billy was the first to do it. And then in Scream 4, we have Jill and Charlie. They both wear blue plaid. In Scream 5, it was Richie. Um, but I do feel like you said, she's probably a red herring. Um, I feel like they put that in the trailer just to throw us off because I did do a video on this a long time ago. In Scream 6, the plaid theory changes to red. In Scream 6, Ethan has some red plaid on the inside of his jacket. Same with Bailey. He has red plaid. And frickin' what's his name in the fridge? Greg, who we didn't even get to see as a Ghostface. We didn't even get to see him kill anyone. He's wearing red plaid in the fridge. So technically 3 of the killers in 6 are all wearing red plaid. So, I feel like the whole blue plaid theory has switched to red. Like you said, I feel like McKenna Grace is just a red herring, but I do like that they did that. Um, hey Paul, yes, I had a great Halloween. I hope you guys all did too. Super bummed that Halloween's over. I still kind of celebrated November 1st a little bit yesterday too, but yesterday was when it really started to feel like it's actually over, and I'm sad. I still have some decorations up in my room, like this Sam behind me and my whole trick or treat setup. I'm gonna take down. I'm gonna take it down because I only bring it out for Halloween, and in about a week or so, I'm going full Christmas mode. but I'm always so depressed when Halloween's over. We have another super chat from Mercurio80. Thank you so much. You said, I think Stu's sister is going to be a red herring and McKenna Grace is a Ghostface. Interesting. So, do you think that Stu's sister will actually be in the movie, but she'll be a good guy? Like, do you think Leslie Macher will actually be a character that we meet in 7, but she doesn't end up being a killer? Or do you think we won't even see Leslie at all? And they're gonna make us think that Leslie exists, but she's like not there. Um, I don't know. I honestly would like to see McKenna Grace as a Ghostface because she's probably the new cast member that I'm most excited for because I am a fan of hers. And I think to see her as a Ghostface would be cool. But I don't know. I have a feeling she's going to be a victim, unfortunately. But what do I know? Who knows? Anything could happen. Um, Thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate it. Working our way towards that goal. And thank you to all 115 people that we have here right now. That might be a record for me in a live stream. Thank you so much, you guys. If everyone here who is watching right now could give the stream a like, that would be amazing. I would appreciate it. Hey, Chocolate Ice. Glad you can make it. Hey, Derek. Everyone say it with me. No more family revenge. Yeah, I get it. It's been done before. But I'll take Leslie with her motive being family revenge as long as it's with Stu. Let's say they don't bring back Stu and it's just his sister. Like, come on, we don't need that. Ooh, we have a new channel member, Castiel the God. Thank you so much. I love the supernatural reference in your name. Thank you so much for choosing to sign up to be a channel member. If anyone else wants to be a channel member, the link should be in the description to sign up, or it should be down in the chat when you click, I think, the $sign. You can either send a super chat or sign up to be a channel member, and you get certain exclusive perks. You get like these scream emojis. So Castiel, you could use that right now in the chat. I have some special scream emojis like Stu, Ghostface, Billy, Sydney, a bunch of different characters. So if anyone else wants to sign up, you get the scream emojis and access to some exclusive content that not everyone can watch. So thank you so much, Castiel. I appreciate you. We have a few more super chats coming in. Brett sent in a $5 super chat. I am well, thank you. I hope you are too. You said there's no way Sydney's daughter, Tatum, is a killer, right? You liked my comment earlier, Dewey being forced to keep his mouth shut. Okay, so I feel like her daughter is not going to be a killer. That being said, it's always possible. I do think it would be a crazy twist that no one would see coming, but I also think it would piss off a lot of people, and it would almost sort of be like a repeat of Jill in a sense, because, Jill was her what is she, her cousin? Yeah, they're cousins. So Jill was her younger cousin who, she grew up with, knew her whole life. So Jill was a huge betrayal that most people didn't see coming. I do think Sydney's daughter would be even more of a betrayal than Jill, and it would be even more devastating. Um, I did point out in my trailer breakdown, in the scene with Tatum in her bedroom, she has a poster on her wall that says the word villain. So, is that a clue that she's gonna be one of the villains? Um, is it just to throw us off? Is it like a whole red hair excuse me, red herring thing? I noticed something else on the poster that I didn't mention in my video. Hold on, I have to pull up the trailer on my phone to see it. Um, yeah, will they make her daughter a killer? I hope not. I'd rather it not happen. Um, I'm also gonna get to the second part of your comment, but hold up, I gotta find this photo of Tatum. Ugh, hold on, you guys. The poster, I don't know if it's for a movie or a band, but it says villain. It also says time heals, then kills at the bottom of that poster, which I did not point out in my video. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. Um, yeah, Dewey being forced to keep his mouth shut. So anyone who's been here for a while, like 2 years now on my channel, then you might remember I have a couple of videos on my channel about Dewey knowing that Stu was alive because the police helped Stu cover things up because it's a small town. Stu's parents had money. Maybe they were friends with, Sheriff Burke, had connections with the police department, paid them off to cover up Stu's survival or help their son get away with it. And maybe Dewey working on with the police was forced to keep his mouth shut, you know? Maybe and we know that Dewey loves his job, loves Woodsboro. That is his whole world. That's his whole life. So maybe they were like, "Listen, if you talk, then you're not gonna work here. You're gonna lose everything." Maybe they threatened his loved ones. I don't know. Like anything's possible. Um, we have a few more super chats. Thank you, Brett, so much for your super chat. I greatly appreciate it. We have another one from Mercurio. It's going to be Stu and Billy's grandmothers. Please, no. Can you imagine? That would be hilarious. um, thank you, Mercurio, for your second super chat. Thomas sent in a super chat. Thank you. You said body behind Ghostface and Mark, yellow shirt like Mindy. What? Ghostface and Mark? What are you talking about? What scene? Is this something in the trailer? Someone body behind Ghostface and Mark, yellow shirt like Mindy. What part of the trailer? Mark is with Sydney at one point. No one's behind him. The scene where Mark gets attacked. I don't see what you're talking about. If you could send another message and let me know, I would appreciate it because I'm curious. But thank you, Thomas, for your super chat. um, oh my goodness, we have a $50 super chat from Dark Knight. 716. Wow. That is extremely generous of you. I seriously appreciate it. Wow. Thank you so much. Melissa Barrera and Spyglass faked the whole drama, making you think she really left the franchise, but she is revealed to be Ghostface at the end of 7, with the motive of embracing her murderous nature and getting revenge for her father. I don't know. It's funny. I have heard people say that before. I really, I don't feel like they faked it. Um, I feel like what the whole drama was about like real life stuff, a little bit too serious of a subject for them to like fake it just to kind of pull a fast one on us. I feel like if they were gonna do that, it would have been something different, like simply a pay dispute or scheduling conflicts or something like that. I feel like the drama was a little bit too serious for them to pull that off. It did cross my mind that maybe they worked things out. Maybe they made up behind the scenes, didn't tell the rest of us to kind of do something like this and have them at least make a cameo for the fans to be happy. Um, yeah, I don't I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who would like Sam to be a ghost face, embracing her murderous nature, um, which I think would be interesting. There was a time, probably right after Scream 6 came out, where I did think about that, thought it would be interesting, but I actually had this theory on the channel a long time ago that Tara would end up being the ghost face, one of the ghost faces in 7. And I know this sounds crazy if you've never heard me bring it up before, but if anyone wants to go back and watch my Tara Carpenter theory video, I do actually think it's a very interesting theory that makes a lot of sense. Um, because the way Scream 6 was kind of setting it up for us to think that Sam down the road was going to embrace her dark side. But they were actually, and it was a little obvious, like that's where they wanted us to go in our brains. But there's actually some really subtle clues about for Tara to actually end up being one of the ghost faces, because she wasn't dealing with her trauma. She was running away from it. She was not going to therapy. She was drinking a lot. Um, yeah, I think it's an interesting theory video I have on the channel. So if anyone's curious about what the hell I'm talking about, check it out after the stream, my Tara Carpenter theory. Um, but yeah, if I would put money on this, betting that this is not the case. I unfortunately don't think we're gonna see Melissa Barrera in Scream 7. I hope one day. I hope they can work it out one day and we can see her come back, because I feel like there were some things for them to wrap up, storyline wise with the Carpenter sisters. So maybe one day. Um, but seriously, thank you so, so much, Dark Knight, for your very generous super chat. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you supporting the channel and just being here, honestly, watching the stream and engaging with the stream. And thank you again we have 126 people here right now. That's crazy. Thank you so much to everyone here. Talking Star Wars is here with a super chat. Thank you. How many ghost faces do you think there is in 7? 2, as there's one or more in Woodsboro and one or more in Pine Grove. That's a good question. I was saying earlier, I think you guys know my theory. Stu is leading a cult. So I would like to think it's going to be this massive cult I'm hoping it's a nationwide cult. Like, I'm hoping that we get a scene with Sydney watching the news, hearing stories about Ghostface attacks in other states, and she's gonna be like, "What the hell is going on?" So I'm hoping that Stu has this large cult. I don't think that that means we're gonna meet all of them because I don't think there's enough time in the movie to meet 20 plus different ghost faces, but I do think the ones that we're actually gonna get, like, unmasked and revealed in the final act, I think we could see Stu plus, like, 4 cult members, so maybe there's gonna be 5 total ghost faces that we actually get to, like, see their faces and somewhat meet them. I'm hoping it's, the most we've ever had. Obviously, Scream 6 already broke that record with 3. Um, yeah, I'm hoping, you know, go big or go home. So my guess right now is 5 total, including Stu. Thank you so much, Talking Star Wars, for your super chat. Um, let's see here. We have another new channel member, Mercurio. Thank you so much for signing up to be a channel member. I appreciate the support. You've already given a couple super chats. Now you're a channel member. I appreciate you. Like I said earlier, now you have access to fun scream emojis in the chat. You can drop one in the chat right now. Not everyone, only channel members have access to that. We have another super chat from Cass. Super generous. I appreciate it. You said, I think if you haven't seen it, there's a show on Prime called The Following, and it's basically the plot of what you think Stu is up to. I am aware of this. I haven't seen it. Um, is it true that Kevin Williamson worked on that show? Yes, I have heard about it. I know it came out a long time ago, and people always tell me this and tell me I should check it out. It's definitely sort of on my watch list of things to check out one day. Um, but there's just so many things on my watch list that I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but definitely one day. Um, Thank you so much, Castiel, for your super chat. Oh my god, you guys, we have 137 people here right now. That is crazy. That is definitely my record. This is the most people I've ever had in a super chat. I seriously appreciate every single one of you. If all of you could give the stream a like right now, that would greatly help out the channel. I would appreciate it. I also know so many comments are coming in. I try my best to get to all of them. I wish that I could. I'm gonna try, but it's like almost impossible. Um, we're not ending yet though. We're still going for a little bit. Um, but if you do have a pressing question, you want to guarantee that I see it, the way to do that is to send in a super chat, which I greatly appreciate. Um, oh my goodness, Castiel with another super chat. Here, I gifted a Prime membership cost. Please watch this ASAP. It's 10 out of 10. All right, you know what, Castiel, just for that, I will. I might watch the first episode tonight after this stream. If not tonight, then possibly tomorrow. I was saying earlier how basically mid-November, like November 15th, is when I go full on Christmas mode. And at that point, all I'm watching are Christmas movies. So if I'm gonna watch other things, It's gotta be now in the next 2 weeks, so I will try to watch the following. Is it only 1 season or is it multiple? Um, but thank you so much, Castiel, super generous of you. I appreciate the super chat. Mark could fake his death in the movie just like Billy and Quinn. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it multiple times. Hey, Spicy Oreo. Thanks for stopping by. Jay Wells is here. Hey, Joseph. You're a huge fan of the channel. Thank you. I seriously appreciate that. My underrated suspect for Ghostface is Ethan Embry. Oh my god, yeah. I totally forgot that he is in this movie. He's another one that wasn't in the trailer. Um, I also feel like his casting announcement was somewhat towards the end of production. It wasn't like in that first couple waves of casting announcements. So yeah, I forgot that he's in the movie and he's more around the age of Sydney. So maybe they have some kind of history together. Maybe he went to Woodsboro High. I don't know. Thanks for being here, Joseph. Hey, Arcade Edits. Blondes rarely survive in Scream movies. Anna Camp and McKenna Graves could be victims. I mean, yeah, anyone can be a victim. I cannot wait to see who survives, who dies, who the killers are. I'm definitely gonna do some like prediction videos on the channel. I don't know when that's gonna be. I might have to wait for like the second trailer just to kind of get more of an idea. How would you feel if Stu is not alive in Scream 7? I'll be sad. I'll be disappointed. Um, I just think that's where it's headed, and the clues have been there. All signs have been pointing to Stu, and I will be disappointed. I found your channel and binged the entire Stu playlist. Love your channel. Stu is back. Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate this. Yeah, I have a lot of Stu videos. If anyone here is new, a new subscriber here, I did get a lot of new subscribers in the past couple days because of my 2 recent videos. So if you are new here, welcome. I seriously appreciate you being here. Yeah, and if you're new here and a Stu believer, I have a whole Stu Macher playlist on the channel. Hey, Carl. I think the scene with Ghostface walking away from the house may be the end of the movie leading up to Scream 8. So I did think about this too. And I feel like that does make sense. Like you would think that that would be like the grand finale of Scream 7 leading into Scream 8. But if the couple from the Airbnb that we see in the trailer, if they're the opening scene, then I have a feeling that the opening scene is going to end with Ghostface walking away from the burning house. That's just what my gut is telling me, but could be wrong. And I cannot wait to find out. Stu and Leslie, killer prediction. That's pretty much what I think. Top 3 favorite Scream movies: 1, 4, and 2. If Stu isn't alive, we riot. Yeah, let's burn down the movie theaters. Just kidding. Don't do that. Um, let's see here. One of the ghost faces in the trailer had huge, wide shoulders. I think Joel McHale will be a ghost face. You never know. Could be. My predictions, the Airbnb couple will be the opening kills, Stu and Leslie Macher will be the killers, and the kill count will be double digits. Yeah, I pretty much agree with this. I do think that couple is the opening kill. Stu and Leslie, that's at least my hope for the killers, plus the cult. Um, yeah, hopefully the kill count is pretty high. Does anyone's local theaters let you wear Ghostface costumes? I don't know. That's a good question. I know some theaters don't let people wear like face paint and stuff. So I don't know. Yes. Stu's voice is at the end of the trailer. He says this is gonna be fun. When I heard that, oh my god, I lost my mind, which some of you guys might have seen, on my trailer breakdown video. I didn't do a full live reaction to the trailer, but in the beginning of my trailer breakdown video, I did show my actual first time reaction to hearing that part of the trailer. That was insane. I love that they did that, and I love that they didn't show him. I'm wondering if they're gonna show him in the second trailer. Hey, Stu is alive. Um, hey, the wrestling gold head. Glad you could make it. Yugi says, I believe Stu's alive and definitely think that Matthew Lillard will be in Scream 7 to reprise his role as Stu. You and me both. I think we will hear deep voices of Stu, Roman, and maybe Jill. I would love some kind of a Jill cameo, even if she's not actually alive. Yeah, I would love to see her again. Dewey's line is probably only for the trailer. Most lines don't make it in the movie. I don't know. I feel like it is in the movie just because we know that David Arquette is confirmed to be back. We don't know exactly why or how. So I think if they included that in the trailer, I feel like it has to be in the movie. I also feel like they know that fans were unhappy that they did that in Scream 6, in the Scream 6 trailer. There was like one or two lines that weren't even in the movie. So hopefully they know that people were pissed and don't don't want to make that mistake again. I don't think it will be the actual Dewey, but a hallucination like Sydney with her mom in Scream 3. Yeah, so I don't think Dewey's alive. Um, but I do hope that it would be a flashback rather than a hallucination. Just because if it's a flashback, it's still technically the real Dewey. You know what I mean? If it's a hallucination, then it's like fake Dewey and it's not even really him. So I would rather it be a flashback. Like a sweet moment with Gail would be nice. Ghostface definitely alludes to being from Sydney's past in Woodsboro. Yes, absolutely. I talked about that in my most recent 2 most recent videos. Um, Ghostface says, I'm what does he say? Uh, your new town reminds me of where we grew up. They say that. They say, I'm not hiding, not this time. So yeah, I think those are a bunch of Stu clues. Couldn't help but notice that Ghostface sounded weird, and you hear heavy breathing with when Sydney kicks him. So what if Stu has lung problems from his stab by Billy? Yes, I am glad you brought this up. I have seen a few people comment this on my videos. And this is something that I did not notice myself. I did not bring it up in my videos. Um, the scene you're talking about when Sydney kicks him in the face when she's going into her panic room, Ghostface is breathing weird. It's like this weird heavy breathing. There might be another scene, I think maybe in the Airbnb. Ghostface kind of breathes weird. And I've heard this theory, like people think, what if it's Stu who has breathing problems from his injuries from the first movie? That is very interesting to me, and I did not catch that. So if anyone here is just hearing this for the first time, definitely go back and watch the trailer again. It's interesting for sure. R.I.P. Judy Hicks. Why does nobody think about Mickey? He wasn't shot in the face, neck, or head. That's true. He technically was not shot in the head. So could he come back? Yes. He was shot a lot though, but I mean, look at what Chad has survived. I would say never, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not necessary to bring him back. I don't feel like he's that important to the story. That being said, though, I did bring up Mickey in my new video from yesterday, where I think that Stu's new motive for Scream 7 is similar to Mickey's motive in Scream 2. Remember, Mickey wanted to get caught and go to trial. I feel like Stu's new motive for 7 could be that he actually wants to get caught this time around to get the credit that he's never really gotten, the credit he feels he deserves. So who knows? Imagine Mickey is still alive and Mickey and Stu want to team up to both get caught this time. I don't think that's the case. I think it would be a little crazy. Um, we have another super chat from Jordan. What's up, Jordan? How long you live for? I don't know. I was planning to do an hour, which we are just approaching. I don't know. I might go for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to get through some of these comments. I have so many comments coming in, you guys. Thank you so much, everyone who is here right now. Seriously. And thank you, Jordan, for your super chat. Yeah, I've missed these live streams, and I'm gonna try to get back into them. Do you think a stab movie was made of the events of 5 and 6? Probably, or at least eventually it will be. Oh, Mindy is in the front seat? I didn't catch that. and I've watched the trailer like 10 million times. Um, Let me see if I can see that. Where is she? Oh, someone's in the front. Oh no, that's Gail shutting the door. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Yeah, I don't see her. I'm confident I'll love Scream 7 as much, if not more than the first 2 Scream movies. Ooh, I feel like there's no way I could ever love a Scream sequel more than the original. But Scream 7 could definitely has potential to be my favorite sequel. Um, and I love Scream 4. Scream 4 is currently my favorite sequel. So it's gonna take a lot for Scream 7 to impress me more than Scream 4. I have a feeling Chad is going to sacrifice himself for Mindy. Yeah, I could see that happening. Mindy is annoying. She can be, to be honest. I feel like she was more annoying in 6 than 5. I kind of like her in 5. She's kind of funny at times in 5. In 6, I feel like she fell off. Crazy theory, but what if the killers are Chad and Mindy and it's always been them? They want revenge for Uncle Randy. Crazy how they both get stabbed, but they never die. Yeah, it is a little crazy to me. Um, I don't really see that happening. I also feel like Chad getting stabbed as much as he did would be risky. If they, like, did that on purpose to make people think not suspect them, I mean, he got stabbed, like, freaking 20 times in Scream 6 alone, so, I don't know. If Stu Macher is going to be brought back only with AI, this means that someone has a recording of his voice, and who else besides Leslie Macher would have such a recording? Interesting. Um, let me see. Uh, I guess Gail's camera from the first movie. That's how they would potentially get it. Um, oh my god, we have 143 people here right now. Thank you guys. Um, yeah, I obviously, I'm a Stu believer. I don't think he's gonna only be AI. I think he's alive. But just to play devil's advocate, who would have a recording? I guess it would be Gail's camera from the first movie, which we don't even know what happened to it. We don't know where Gail's camera is. And I always say, like, Gail's camera, what if it has footage of him surviving? And who has that camera? Maybe the police, like my whole theory with Sheriff Burke covering things up that we talked about earlier in the stream. Um, what if Sheriff Burke has Gail's camera and someone was able to obtain it? I don't know. I actually think Chad dies because Mindy has never gotten to see the ending. She's missed both reveals in 5 and 6. That's a good point. I I would like to see Mindy be able to make it to the end. Is there any truth to the rumor that we will be getting surprise cameos in Scream 7? I don't know, but I hope it's true. I could see it being true. I would like to think that they still have some tricks up their sleeves because they have revealed a lot, you know? Like, they revealed that Matthew Lillard has joined the cast, that Scott Foley joined the cast, David Arquette. It's like, why are they revealing everything? Hopefully, they do have some surprise cameos. We'll see. Will Scream 7 reference Scream 6 much at all? I could see them making fun of the whole Core 4 thing, seeing as only 2 of the 4 are present. I feel like they will reference Scream 6, but probably not much. You know how in Scream 6 they acknowledged Sydney's absence, and they didn't really spend a lot of time on it, you know? It was like, what, 2 lines of dialogue for Sydney and why she wasn't there. Gail said, like, she's off safe with her family. She deserves her happy ending. That was it. That's all that they gave Sydney, you know, our main final girl who started this all. So if they're only giving like 2 lines of dialogue for Sydney, I can't imagine they're gonna give more than that for the Carpenter sisters. You know, I feel like Mindy and Chad might say something like, you know, they're off safe somewhere, they moved to another country, like something like that, and just move on from it. I also feel like Gail will probably say something like, "Oh, I almost died in New York." And that's it. Like, they're not gonna I imagine they're not gonna talk about it much, just a little bit. It's already been confirmed that Gail has a lot of screen time in this one. Just because she wasn't in the trailer a lot doesn't mean anything. True. I mean, I don't know if it was confirmed that she has a lot of screen time. I did hear that as well, but I feel like that's just pretty much a rumor at this point. Like, you know, it didn't come from Courtney Cox herself. It didn't come from Nev Campbell. Kevin Williamson didn't say that. It's just kind of these things that I feel like people on Twitter just make it up. They just kind of tweet something and it just gets spread around and people retweet it, repost it, and no one really knows the source of it. Um, but I did hear that as well, that Gail supposedly has a lot of screen time. But yeah, I do agree just because she wasn't in the trailer a lot doesn't mean anything. I mean, think about all the other characters we didn't even see in the trailer. That doesn't mean they're not in the movie. Um, I think if one of the twins die, Sam and Tara should be there. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, Dewey died. Dewey, of all people, died. And Sydney was not there for it, and Gail was not there for it. They were there after the fact, yeah, but like they weren't there to witness it, to hold him as he was dying. Like it could have been way more emotional. I'm still upset that Sydney and Gail weren't there for him when he died. Um yeah, I don't think the sisters need to be there if one of the twins die. As long as the twins are there for each other, I think they could do it. Stu definitely gutted Dewey and stabbed Gale because there's no way a bunch of Scream rookies stabbed Gale and gutted Dewey. I'm with you, Alexander. Um, yeah, I have I talk about this in several videos on the channel. I have one specifically for Dewey's death and one specifically for Gale's attack in Scream 6. They're both in my Stu Macher playlist if anyone wants to check them out after the stream. There's a lot of clues in both of those scenes. A lot of Stu clues in both of those scenes. It's insane. I I don't know, like you I've done videos on them, but it's been a while since I've done those videos. So I'm kind of wondering if I should sort of redo them, which I know some people get annoyed if I like repeat things and they'll comment like, "Didn't you do a video on this already?" But it's like things kind of get lost in the feed. You know, if I made a video on something 2 years ago, typically it's not getting watched by new viewers, if you know what I mean. Like, so all of my new subscribers aren't aware of all these stew clues that are in those scenes. And especially now that like this trailer came out with more stew clues, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'll redo a video. I don't know. We'll see. Um, we have a $10 super sticker from Quentin Gilmore. Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate it. Super generous. Thank you for the support on the channel. You guys have all been great tonight. Let's see here. Is there a possibility Stu has a daughter? Yeah, I mean, why not? He's, you know, on the older side. Who knows what he was up to when he was a little younger? Um, Getting back to my Tara Carpenter theory. I don't know if you were here when we were talking about it. My Tara Carpenter theory that I want you guys to check out after the stream if you haven't seen it. I know this is going to sound crazy if you've never heard me say it, but within my Tara Carpenter theory, I say, what if Tara is Stu's daughter? Now, there's a ton of clues in that theory video that make a lot of sense. I promise you the theory makes sense. I'm not going to get into all of the clues now because it's just a lot, but I'll just say Christina Carpenter, their mother, was in love with Billy Loomis. She is obsessed with horror movies, we find out. What if after Billy died, she missed that dark side? She clung to Stu and then had another daughter with Stu. You know, she already lied to her husband once before about him being Sam's father. What if she lied to him again about being Tara's father? I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely possible Stu has a kid. Matthew says, this is my favorite Scream discussion channel. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate it. Let's see. I realize I am literally an hour behind in the chat. I'm sorry, you guys. I try my best to get to everyone, but there's a lot of people here right now. And the super chats always go to the front of the line. So, you know, if I didn't answer your question in the chat, I promise I'm not ignoring you. I appreciate you being here and commenting. It's just hard to get to everyone. And I do, you know, I prioritize the super chats because people are paying for it. And that is the perk of the super chats. So I promise if I didn't get to your question, I'm not ignoring you. Stu definitely has to have a cult behind him. I agree. Stu's parents were rich. They paid off the authorities and judge to lock him up in a mental institution. Definitely think they were rich, they paid off the authorities. I don't know if he was locked up in a mental institution, maybe briefly when he was still a minor, but I don't think that's where he's been this whole time. I think he's been roaming around free. Sydney didn't have a kid in 2011. That was 15 years ago. So unless she got with her husband immediately after that movie, shouldn't the child be young? Yeah, I know there's a lot of confusion about this. I obviously don't have the answers. I don't know, but maybe she did have a kid during Scream 4 and we just didn't know. What if she was secretive? What if she didn't want people to know her business? I don't know. I also do think she has one or two younger kids that just haven't been featured in the trailer. We don't know about it because they're probably not going to play big roles. We're going to focus on Tatum, her oldest daughter. Um, she definitely has at least one younger kid because in Scream 5, she says, I have to take the girls to school, plural. So yeah, I just think they're not gonna play a big role. Um, I don't think Jill is alive. She got shot in the heart. So we don't know exactly if it hit the heart. It could have been like below the heart. Um, the intention originally was for her to survive. She was gonna survive 4 and go on to be in 5 had they continued the franchise over a decade ago. Um, and if you pay close attention at the end of Scream 4, she twitches slightly. Her face slightly twitches, and they chose to keep it in the movie because they were intending to bring her back. And there's even an interview out there somewhere with Wes Craven and Emma Roberts where they do talk about it, and Wes Craven says we chose to keep the twitch in the movie to bring you back. So it's possible that she's alive. Quentin throwing out another $5. Thank you so much. You said it's going to be his sister. I assume you mean Stu's sister, Leslie. I mean, I agree with you. I think Leslie Macher. I'm hoping she's one of the killers. I want to see her and Stu team up together. I don't want it to be just Leslie, you know? Like, I think it would be so dumb if Stu if they don't bring Stu back and Leslie is, like, leading a cult. I don't know. I think that wouldn't be good. It would just be more of the same family revenge. I think Leslie only works if she's working with Stu, in my opinion. Thank you, Quentin, for your super chat. Super generous of you. Hey, Austin, glad you could make the stream. Um, oh, okay. I don't know if you can tell or not, but when Ghostface is dragging, who I believe was Mark, there's a body in the background. If you zoom in, it looks like Mindy with the same yellow shirt. Okay. So it first of all, it doesn't look like Mark to me. It looks like someone else. I feel like it's one of the other newer characters, like Asa Gurman's character, Sam Reckner's character, possibly, or some of the other just like side characters. It doesn't look like Mark, but I did not notice another body. Let me check it out. Um, hold up, let me see, I gotta pause it at the right moment. Hmm. Yeah, that definitely doesn't look like Mark to me. Oh, I do kind of see a body in the back, but it doesn't really look like a yellow shirt to me. I don't know, but that's interesting. I did not catch that other body. See, it's like you can watch this thing so many times and catch something new every time. Interesting. Thank you for pointing that out. Um, yeah, Matthew Lillard has been vocal for years and years, decades at this point, that Stu's alive. So we shall see. Um, I do think the Mark scene in the trailer is his death. Obviously, I don't know for sure. It could just be misdirection for all I know, but I don't know. It looks pretty intense to me. My gut is telling me that's his actual death, but we'll see. Yep, Cult of Ghostface, original plan for Scream 3. I firmly believe every killer from 2 to 6 are Stu's cult. Yeah, so I don't know, but I do have a video on the channel where I kind of get into this. Um, I believe the title of my video is called "What ha What Has Stu Macher Been Doing for 30 Years?" It's called something like that, where I do kind of get into a theory about what if Stu played a role in every sequel? What if he was kinda working from the shadows? So if anyone here hasn't seen it, it was several months ago. Definitely check it out after the stream. Um, does anyone know if you can still order from Steven's website and get the Stew Train shirt? I want to wear it in theaters to honor him. I'm not sure. That's a good question. You probably can. If his if his merch was through a website like Teespring, for example, which is where my merch is from, and I think he might have also used Teespring. Um, yeah, you should be able to order it, and Teespring makes it themselves and ships it to you themselves. So you can definitely try it. Yeah, I think that would be a great way to honor him. So yeah, definitely give it a try. It can't hurt to try. Scott Foley probably has less than 1 minute of screen time. I don't know. You would hope that if they get him to come back, it's gonna be a little more than 1 minute, but, you know, There's a lot of this cast is big, so you can't spend that much time on everyone. I kind of hope since we're getting Scream 8 that Stu wins and he is the kill if he is the killer. Yeah, I would love for him to get away with it, survive once again, lead us into Scream 8 just to get him for 2 movies. Cause I mean, listen, if they're gonna actually do it and Stu's actually gonna be alive and we got Matthew Lillard back, I've always said, let's use him while we have him. Because once they do eventually kill him for good, then that's it. We're never gonna see Stu again after that. You know what I mean? So if he's alive, let's use him for 2 movies. Like, come on. We hear Ghostface breathing like Darth Vader. Stu has an oxygen mask from a smashed lung or something. We'll see, man. I know. We were talking about this theory earlier. That would be crazy, and I honestly didn't catch that in the trailer myself. Ghostface really is breathing weird. Like, what is up with that? What if the couple opening scene is actually the ending, or they are both the villains, and the dude betrays his girlfriend and explains why we open or end the movie at Stu's house? Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, it was giving me the vibe that it's the opening scene, but who knows? Like, maybe it is in the middle of the movie or the end of the movie. I don't know. It really did give me opening kill vibes, but I'm hoping they're I don't know, keeping things from us. And something that I did like about the trailer is um I do feel like they didn't reveal a lot, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully in the second trailer they don't reveal more and just keep things really vague. Jack Quaid was good. He grows on me more and more with every rewatch of Scream 5. Like, I remember after the first time I saw Scream 5, I was pretty underwhelmed with it. I wasn't a fan of either of the ghost faces, especially Amber. I really couldn't stand Amber, but they've kind of grown on me. Like, they're kind of funny. The reveals are kind of good a little bit. I mean, they can't compare to, like, the original movies, you know? But I feel like the terrible reveals and performances in 6 make 5 look, like, amazing, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Jack Quaid really was good. Do you think we're going back to the night of Marine's death to see the true story? Hidden accomplice, Roman was there with Billy and Stu. Yeah, so I hope so, and this is something I've talked about on the channel for a long time now. Um, yeah, I've done a couple of videos, like, years ago at this point. What if Scream 7's opening scene is a flashback to Maureen's murder, and we do find out some new information, like, you know, hidden accomplice, maybe Christina Carpenter was there that night helping. What if Roman was actually there, like you said? Um, and, you know, this this theory about that has been floating around the YouTube community for a couple years now, and then months ago, there was a rumor that it actually was happening. don't know how true that rumor is, but imagine, like I was just saying, the couple, the Airbnb couple in the trailer gives me the vibe that it's the opening scene. But what if that's what they want you to think? And what if the opening scene actually is a flashback to Maureen's murder? And they're just trying to throw us off with the trailer. That would be cool, especially because, like, I talked about in this stream and past videos, my video yesterday, these newer sequels are mirroring the original movies 5 and 1, 6 and 2. So 7 should have some similarities to 3. And something that happens in Scream 3, Tom, the character Tom, who is one of the actors in Stab 3, he's ripping out the pages of the Stab script, and he says that there's a flashback to Maureen's murder in Stab 3. So what if they're doing that for real in Scream 7? You know, I think that would be so cool, and I hope so. I don't know. Yeah, I do feel like the plaid skirt is just to throw us off. Yes, I agree with this, Erica. Um, yeah, I do talk about this in my new video that I put out yesterday. If anyone here has not seen that, definitely check it out after the stream. This is true. Derek does wear like a blue plaid shirt in Scream 2, but wasn't the killer. However, he was supposed to be the killer in like an early draft of the script. So I don't know. I have a feeling that if Stu is alive, he'll end up being a good guy. I sure hope not. I am not a fan of this idea. If Stu's alive, he needs to be darker, more evil, more sadistic than he was in the first movie. Yeah, I don't want to see him be a good guy. I know a lot of people are into that idea. I'm not. Um, I think it would be kind of interesting if he wanted to make them believe that he's changed. Like, what if he's like, no, like that, I was a stupid 17-year-old kid. I was peer pressured into it. Billy peer pressured me. I've grown since then. I promise you I've changed. And then it turns out he is evil. um, yeah, I don't want to see him be a good guy. But to be honest, I don't even want to see him pretend. Like, I want to just from the jump, as soon as he takes that mask off, I don't want to see him revealed until the mask comes off and he has this evil grin and he's just like, just darker than ever. I believe there's 3 killers, Christina, Leslie, and Mr. Loomis. Interesting. I don't really care to see Mr. Loomis as Mr. Loomis, like Hank Loomis? No, I'm not a fan of that. Um, I just think we've already done so many Loomises. Billy Loomis, Nancy Loomis. Technically, like Sam is a Loomis. Like, I but Christina, I honestly, before Melissa was fired and Jenna quit, my dream Ghostface scenario for 7 was Stu, Leslie, and Christina. That was my dream scenario. Apparently, shortly after the whole drama happened and the movie was put on hold, apparently the original script came out and it was going to be Christina, Leslie, and Stu. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or what, but yeah, um I would love for Christina to be involved. I have a ton of theories on the channel about this that I'm not really going to get into right now, but please feel free to check them out. Um would they still want Christina involved without the Carpenter sisters? I don't know. It definitely seems less likely, but she does have a connection to Sydney. You know, Christina and Sydney went to high school together. They both were dating Billy Loomis. Christina was in love with Billy, and Sydney killed him. So, what if Christina wants revenge on Sydney for killing her lover? Like, I don't know. I think it would be possible to. I think it would be possible to still include Christina even without her daughters in the movie. And now that I think about it, it actually would be an interesting way to still connect 7 to 5 and 6, to still have that Carpenter connection without the sisters there. I don't know. I don't know. And, the line from the trailer where Ghostface says, "Nice town, it reminds me of where we grew up." I do think that's Stu, but what if it's Christina? Christina also grew up in Woodsboro. I don't know. Um, we have a super chat from Bloodshot. Thank you so much. I see you also have signed up to be a channel member. I appreciate you so much. Um, yeah, now you have access to the fun scream emojis that you can use in the chat and some special videos that not everyone can watch. But in your super chat, you said evil grin and drooling. Yeah, Stu's gotta drool. He drools in the first movie. He's like so excited that he's like spitting. He's like foaming at the mouth pretty much. We're gonna need that in Scream 7. You guys, I cannot wait. Like, I am so excited. I have to stop myself from thinking about the movie too much because I would just like never sleep. I'm so excited to see Stu's return in Scream 7. Thank you so much for your super chat and for signing up to be a member. I appreciate the continued support on the channel. Um, yes, please, everyone here, let's hit the like button. I would seriously appreciate it. It helps out the channel to pump out the stream and my content to new viewers. We've consistently had, oh my god. Okay, first of all, we've consistently had over 100 viewers in the chat for almost the entire stream, which is incredible. Like, I've never had a stream with this many people. So, thank you so much. I seriously appreciate every single one of you guys. And I just checked, we have 154 likes on the stream. So, thank you so much, you guys. Like, I'm speechless. Wow. Thank you. We have another super chat from Bloodshot. Don't forget Martha Meeks and husband. I don't trust her. She's evil looking. She grew up there too. First of all, thank you so much for your second super chat. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Martha Meeks being a killer. I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't have that much of an impact for me. At first, I probably would be like, "Oh, shit, like, what? Martha Meeks? Randy's sister?" But I feel like after the initial shock kinda wears off, I would be, like, underwhelmed a little bit. Unless she's working with Stu. Here's the thing, as long as Stu is alive and he's the mastermind, then it actually would be pretty interesting if he was able to convince Martha Meeks to be in his cult or whatever, you know? As long as Stu is the ringleader, they can do whatever they want. I don't care. Um, yeah. I wonder who her husband is. Who is the father of the twins? We don't know. We have no idea. Um, Thank you so much for both of your super chats. I appreciate you. And I see now that we actually went up to 160 likes. So thank you so much, you guys. I also see, this is so funny. I see a new comment came in on my Stu video from yesterday, and someone commented in all caps, "Nobody cares about Stu." It's like, really? Like, look at how many people we have who are Stu believers. Like, come on. We have a super chat from Bernie. Thank you, Bernie. You said, "Fingers crossed for flashbacks of Stu's secret attacks slash setups in the past." Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, especially for the newer sequels, 5 and 6. I would love it if they could somehow tie Stu into the earlier sequels as well, 2, 3, and 4. I do think that would be a little bit more difficult to do just because there's a lot of bases to cover, a lot of events that happened. And it has to make sense. But definitely 5 and 6. Like, they've been setting this up. Stu, without a doubt, to me, was present in 5 and 6. He was there. So definitely, like, for example, Dewey's death. I think Stu killed him. And we know that David Arquette is returning in some capacity. So what if we get a flashback to Dewey's death? And it's sort of like an extended version of the scene. Like, the last we see of Dewey's death, Dewey's on the floor, Ghostface is standing over him. But what if it's extended and we see Stu take his mask off? That would be crazy. And same thing with like Gale's attack in 6. I would love that. They got to do it. Thank you, Bernie, for your super chat. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. It's been like an hour and 45 minutes and I am having a blast. What if Dewey is alive? I don't know. I know that's a theory out there. I mean, listen, I'm kind of I wouldn't be that mad because I love Dewey and I want him to be alive. So I don't know. I know Marcus from I Shot Him 6 Times, the channel on YouTube. I know a lot of you here probably know who he is. He is a fan of this theory, and I think he has a video about it on his channel. So if anyone's curious, check out his channel after the stream for sure. Dark Knight is throwing out another super chat. Thank you so much. 99% of the fans slash YouTube influencers I watch believe Stu or Leslie are involved. If there's no connection to Stu at all, people will be pissed. I agree with you, Dark Knight. And I've said this before, like, the fandom is clearly divided. There's people who are Stu believers, there's people who are Stu deniers. From what I've seen for 3 years now, far more people are Stu believers, so it's like, either way, whether he's alive or whether he's dead, no matter what they choose to do, you're gonna piss off one side. So who would you rather piss off? You know, like, wouldn't you wanna make the bigger side happy so that more fans are happy? And also, I just think listen, I think Stu believers, like to have fun compared to the Stu deniers. Listen, I'm not saying all Stu deniers. I respect everyone's opinion. I think everyone is entitled to their opinion, but we we gotta be nice about it, and I'm never disrespectful to Stu deniers, but a lot of the deniers out there, not all of them, but a lot of them are very rude and mean and nasty, and I don't like that. So it's like, don't you wanna don't you want to make the group who is tends to be more nice about it? Don't you wanna make that side happy? I don't know, but I agree. I think a lot more people will be upset if Stu doesn't come back alive. Um, but thank you for your super chat. I think when Sydney shows up to the crime scene, that's where her husband Mark dies. Hmm. Interesting. I don't obviously I don't know. I don't know anything for sure, but when Sydney shows up to the crime scene, she doesn't look upset. Like it's not like it's her home. You know, it's not like the crime scene is at her home for her to be running to the house concerned, like, "What happened?" I feel like it's a random neighbor. I don't know. Also, like, his death or the scene in the trailer where Mark gets attacked, it seems like it's kind of in, like, an abandoned location, so I don't know. Hey, Mario, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Um I also think that the twins will die as well. Both of them? You really think it's time for both of them to go? That would be crazy. Um, hey Jackson, thanks for joining the channel. Hopefully you are subscribed. If not, please subscribe. If anyone here is new and hasn't subscribed yet, please do so that you can stay up to date on all of my Scream 7 videos that are going to come out in the next few months. How many films do you think will be in the franchise? I don't know. I hope they never stop making them as long as they can keep making quality movies. Once the quality goes down, then it's like, all right, let's maybe wrap it up. But um I don't know. I hope they go to like 10. Let's go to 10 Scream movies at least. No, so I don't think this is supposed to be Uh, actually, Guy Busick, one of the main writers for 7, who also wrote on 5 and 6, he confirmed actually, a few months ago that it's only a time jump of, like, 2.5 years, 3 years at most. So no, they're not doing a huge time jump. Um, Sydney does reveal that she has more than 1 daughter, so no, the one who was in the stroller, I think, is going to still be the younger daughter in 7, play a pretty insignificant role. I feel like I don't know, I feel like Sydney's gonna have, like, a nanny or something, and once shit starts hitting the fan and things start going down with Ghostface, she's probably gonna tell her nanny, like, "Listen, just take my younger one, take her to your house and stay there." I don't know, if Sydney's busy running around with Tatum like we see in the trailer, if Mark is working as a cop and getting attacked himself, who's watching the younger daughter? I don't know. Maybe Mark's parents are around, they live nearby and they babysit, or I don't know. If Tatum is the killer, I'm walking out of the theater. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be upset. Scream 8 should be like New Nightmare and the killer is the ghost of Wes Craven, and he's annoyed with them making more Scream movies when he's dead. Um, I feel like they wouldn't make the killer the ghost of Wes Craven, but I would like to see a new Nightmare version of Scream one day, but if they do that, I feel like they shouldn't call it Scream 8 because when you hear Scream 8, you expect it to be a continuation of, the fictional story that we've been with for so long. If they're gonna do a new Nightmare, let's say in between 8 and 9 or whatever, they should call it something else. Like, don't put a number next to it, call it Scream New Nightmare or New Scream or something different other than, the numbers. Um, True, yes, the poster as well features, Stu Macher's house, so that just tells me Stu is going to be a big character in 7. The his house was throughout the entire trailer, and the poster has his house on it. So I don't know, that just tells me he's gonna be a big character. Yeah, so I did hear this. Scream 8 has been greenlit. I did a video on this when the news first broke months ago. In fact, Steven from Craven Something Scary was the first one I saw who posted about it, so then I made my video. Um, yeah, according to Production Weekly, which is, supposed to be this reliable source, it's already, like, in the works. So that's exciting. If it's true, Kevin Williamson or whoever has not officially said anything, but it is on Production Weekly. Um, I would absolutely hate if Dewey was somehow the mastermind. I feel like that would be such an insult to the character. I would be very unhappy. Do you think Roman could have faked his death? I don't. He was shot in the head, so I think that's pretty much it for Roman. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna go for just a few more minutes here. We've been going for almost 2 hours, which is incredible, and I wish I could go longer, but I have work early in the morning, so I need to get to sleep soon. Um, yeah, I didn't see this. I didn't notice. I did notice the body in the back, after I just went back to it on my phone just now, but it doesn't look like Mindy to me. I'll take a closer look after the stream. Yeah, I feel like I definitely need to watch the trailer multiple more times very closely and maybe do another video, like, things things I missed, like, I don't know. Um, we have another super chat from Dark Knight. Thank you so much. If they did a new Nightmare type of film, the most meta thing to do would be to call it Stab. The cast of Stab starts getting killed in real life. That would be interesting. I mean, I would love to see something like that one day. I hope they do it. I feel like they have to. It's just a matter of when, like, do they wait years from now when the actual Scream franchise is officially done, you know? Or do they kind of do it in between movies? I don't know. But yeah, this is definitely something I would want to see. It would be cool if they called it Stab and we got like an actual Stab movie. That would be funny. But yeah, think about all the past Scream characters or Scream actors, I should say, that we could see again. We could see anyone who's ever been in a Scream movie, like freaking Joel the cameraman, who I would love to see. Joel's honestly one of my favorite characters. He's so funny. Um, Thank you so much, Dark Knight. You've been super generous tonight. I appreciate your super chats. And Nicholas sent in a $2 super sticker. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. I appreciate you. Um, let's see here. Let me get to just a few more. I wish I could get to everyone's comments. I really do. Um, so we did not meet our super chat goal in time for the bonus stream this week, but I do think I'm gonna do one anyway, just because you guys have been super generous with the super chats. We probably did meet the goal, just not within the 1 hour time frame, so it's fine. And we have so many people here tonight. I would love to do this again. I'm thinking like maybe tomorrow, but if not, then like Wednesday or Thursday. I want to do another stream um before this coming weekend. Didn't Melissa Barrera say she was all right with only 2 movies? I think she did say something like that. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I don't know. She also said that like apparently she only signed a contract for 2 movies, but Skeet Ulrich said he was in talks to do a 3-movie arc where, his character, his ghost Billy or whatever you want to call it, hallucination Billy, he was in talks to do 3 movies. So I don't know what to believe, but yeah, I do think she said that she was happy with Sam's ending. If you think about it, it was kind of a satisfying ending, but I don't know. It's in a way, it's not satisfying because it wasn't really supposed to be the end. You know what I mean? Um, let's see here. Um, we have another super chat from Nero. Thank you, Nero. Glad you could make this stream. Do you think Sam and Tara will show up with Kirby at the end and into Scream 8? I don't honestly. I feel like too much has happened with the drama that Sam and Tara, or Melissa and Jenna, I should say, I don't think they're willing to show up in 7. I mean, listen, who knows? Like, I could totally be wrong. Um, what if it is a post-credits scene and it's something that's, like, not relevant that's not actually relevant to the movie, like Scream 7, it doesn't really have much to do with the plot or the characters. What if eh, obviously Scream 7's been filmed already. It's done filming, long done. But what if they do work something out and make good with Spyglass where they could film something from now until then for a quick 30-second, 60-second post-credit scene? I don't know, like, honestly, never say never. Crazier things have happened, but I just don't see it happening. Um, I would love for Kirby to show up at the end because I love her. I love that they brought her back in 6. Um, I was hoping she'll be in 7, but there's been no talks of it. Maybe she's one of the secret cameos. I don't know. There was talks about a Kirby Reeves spin-off movie. I don't know what's up with that. There's been no more news on that, so we'll see. But to answer your question, I don't think so. But thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. This is super sweet. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Um, what are the chances Stu is actually back and alive? I want to say 100. I think I'm 100% certain. Like, I feel it in my bones that he's back. So I'm going with 100% chance. Yeah, Kyle Gallner, extremely underrated actor. Um, super underutilized character in Scream 5, especially being Stu's nephew. Like, come on, how could you not at least use him as a red herring throughout the entire movie? Um, let's see. Matthew Lillard did say we'll know if Stu is alive or not in this movie. Yeah, well, God forbid, knock on wood, they don't reveal that he's alive. Like, I don't know. I feel like we gotta put a rest to the theories. Oh, yeah, if this happens, if Stu takes off his mask well, what I would want him to say when he takes the mask off is "Surprise, Sydney," but I do at some point want him to also say, "I always had a thing for you, Sid." I'm gonna lose my mind, you guys. Like, I don't know, I'm already just picturing myself in that theater. I might have a heart attack, like, I don't know. I feel like I feel like so much is gonna happen in the movie, and I'm gonna freak out so much that I'm gonna miss stuff, and I'm gonna wanna turn right back around and go right back into that theater and watch it again, like, back to back. Do you think Gail will survive this movie? I really don't know. Honestly, I feel like it could go either way. Um, a long time ago, I really did think she was 100% gonna die in 7, just because she almost died in 6, but now, I don't know, I feel like she might survive one more movie. What I personally would like to see I do think it's her time to go, very soon at least. What I would want, though, is for her to survive one more movie, survive Scream 7, and be the opening kill in Scream 8, because a character a huge character like Gale, who's been in all the movies, deserves a big send-off, and, you know, if she dies in the opening scene for 8, that opening scene could go down in history as, the best one of the best opening scenes in the franchise, so that's what I would like to see, her survive one more movie. Um, yeah, I am very happy that Kevin Williamson is back. Seriously, every time I think about it, it makes me so happy. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate this. I love all you guys as well. Seriously. Um, I see Kane a while ago. You said go until 9:30. Well, here we are pushing 10 o'clock. Um, Film Gamer says, "You're my favorite streamer, and your Dexter Scream videos are the best on the internet. Stay awesome." Thank you so much. Seriously, this is super sweet of you. I appreciate you. Thank you again, Mario. I remember you said something earlier, but I see your other comment now. You guys are all the best. Seriously. Oh, are you talking about the following? There's 3 seasons or 4? Damn. All right. I mean, I'm gonna check it out. Favorite underrated Christmas movie? You know what Christmas movie I feel like is underrated? Um, The Night Before. It's called The Night Before. It stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anthony Mackie, I think his name is. I feel like I don't see a lot of people talk about it. It is so funny. It's like one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. If you've never seen the Christmas movie The Night Before, do me a favor and watch it this Christmas season. Yes, rewatch the franchise. I just was it yesterday? Yeah, just yesterday I watched 1, 2, and 4. I skipped 3. In the past, whenever I did a rewatch, I would like to do them in order, but I've seen them so many times that lately I've just kind of been skipping around. Sometimes if I feel like just watching 4, I'll just put on Scream 4. Um, do I think Sydney will die? I do not. I don't think she'll die. Okay. Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna call it a night. We've gone for over 2 hours. This is one of my longest streams. Definitely the most people consistently I've ever had in the chat. Thank you guys so, so much, seriously, for hanging out for over 2 hours with me. Like I said, I am planning to do another one this week, so stay tuned. In the next, like, 3 days, either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, I'm gonna do another stream. I'm not sure when. I don't typically plan these in advance. I kind of just hop on here when I get a free moment. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, please. Also, make sure all notifications are turned on so that when I randomly go live, you'll get notified and you won't miss it. But yeah, thank you so much for all of your comments, your questions, for liking the stream. We got a lot of likes on this one. Thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat. Let's see. We had J Dev with a super chat. Thank you. Zork, Justin, Silver Princess, Mercurio, Castiel with the super chat. You also became a channel member, so thank you. Brett, thank you. Thomas, Dark Knight, you were very generous with the super chats tonight. So thank you so much. Talking Star Wars. Mercurio also became a channel member. Jordan with the super chat. Quentin, Bloodshot, super chat and new channel member. Bernie, Nicholas, Nero. Thank you guys so much. Super generous. Thank you for the continued support on the channel. Expect nonstop Scream 7 videos here on the channel. Lots of streams to come. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. And I will talk to you soon in the next couple of days, so stay tuned.